This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 27, 2023. And in the news this evening, alleged robber identified using finger left at the crime scene charged. A 52-year-old man who reportedly shot off one of his fingers while robbing a woman in St. Andrew last year has been charged after police nabbed him using prints from the severed digit. Herbert Ricky Wallace was arrested on May 17 and charged on May 25 with robbery with aggravation, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Wallace, who is from Riverton Meadows in St. Andrew, was named in the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Wanted Wednesday campaign. Reports are that about 8:45 p.m. on November 28, 2022, the complainant was at her business establishment when she was pounced upon by Wallace and his accomplice, who robbed her of $60,000. During the robbery, Wallace's gun went off and his left middle finger was severed from his hand, causing him and his accomplice to flee the area, police reports say. While the police processed the scene, they retrieved the finger, which was later cross-referenced with the fingerprint database. Wallace was identified as the alleged perpetrator. He was formally charged after he was pointed out on an identification parade and is scheduled to appear before the corporate area gun court. The police say the accomplice is still being sought. Hunts Bay Criminal Investigations Branch probed the matter. St. Andrew teen and a 27-year-old man charged in theft of $190,000 worth of food. 27-year-old Antoine Perry and a 17-year-old boy have been charged over the alleged theft of food items worth $190,000 from a house in their Olympic Gardens community on May 12. Reports from the Hunts Bay police are that about 2:30 p.m., Perry and the teen gained entry through the rear door of the house. Perry, who is from Larger Road in St. Andrew, and the teen entered the dwelling and stole 2 televisions, among other things. They then allegedly stole food items from an adjoining shop with an estimated value of $190,000 before making their escape in the area. A report was made to the police and an investigation launched. Perry and the teen were arrested later on the day of the incident. The teen was charged on May 17 and Perry 5 days later. The police say their court dates are being finalized. Former JLP councillor Patrick Lee has died. The ruling Jamaica Labour Party is mourning the passing of former councillor Patrick Lee, who died at hospital on Saturday after a prolonged illness. Lee, who was also the party's standard-bearer in the 2011 parliamentary elections, recently underwent a triple bypass heart surgery. The businessman is best remembered for his work in the Portland Eastern constituency. He was elected to the Portland Municipal Corporation in 1981 when he took the Comfort Castle Division in the Rio Grande Valley of Eastern Portland. He lost in the 2011 parliamentary polls to the People's National Party candidate, the late Dr. Linval Bloomfield. Portland Western Member of Parliament Darrell Vaz, who was one of Lee's allies, described his former colleague as a caring and a kind individual. He contributed a lot to the people of Eastern Portland, and he has touched the lives of many ordinary Portlanders, including students and the unemployed, said Vaz. Patrick was the kind of businessman who was always giving back to the people of Eastern Portland in a big way. We have lost a true servant who went beyond the call of duty to provide for the less fortunate. And he has left a huge void, he added. At the time of his passing, Lee was senior justice of the peace in the parish of Portland. 11 months shaved of murderer's life sentence. One of 2 men convicted of the 2011 murder of a male hairdresser, Richard Morgan, in Torrington Park, Kingston, has had his original sentence reduced by 11 months following an appeal. This is on the basis of an arithmetical error on the part of the trial judge, who had sentenced Richard Lindo to life imprisonment with the stipulation that he serve 20 years before being eligible for parole. Lindo is now to serve a sentence of life imprisonment with the stipulation that he spends 19 years and 1 month before being eligible for parole. The appeal court, in giving in writing the reasons for the decision, which was handed down orally after the matter was heard on May 9 and 11 this year, said while the learned trial judge could not be faulted in her application of the sentencing principles, there was an arithmetical error as well as insufficient information before her. As such, the appeal court said it affirmed the sentence of life imprisonment as well as the 30-year pre-parole period at which the trial judge arrived after taking into account aggravating circumstances, and also adopted the 8-year discount for the mitigating circumstances as identified by the learned trial judge. However, said on the basis of additional information provided by the Crown Counsel, it discovered that Lindo's pre-sentence detention spanned 2 years and 11 months. The appeal court judges pointed out that 22 years less the period of pre-sentence detention amounted to a pre-parole period of 19 years and 1 month. The sentence is being treated as having commenced on February 15, 2017, the date on which it was handed down. The prosecution in the trial, which began in 2016, said Lindo and his co-accused Shamar Saman jointly murdered Morgan in August of 2011. According to the Crown, Morgan was attacked by both men when they took over an argument between Morgan and another individual who told Morgan that all B-man would die. Morgan was reportedly going under the building where Saman and Lindo lived when Lindo told Morgan, "I don't want any B-man under the building." Morgan, according to the Crown, replied to Lindo with an unsavory comment about his mother. At that point, Lindo and Saman ran upstairs the building to the floor on which Lindo lived and returned with a machete and a pickaxe stick respectively. According to the evidence, Saman chopped Morgan in the neck, and after Morgan fell on the ground, Lindo hit him with a pickaxe stick. The wound to the neck was fatal. A release issued by the prosecution following the conviction said Morgan was a homosexual hairdresser, and because of that, he was discriminated against in the area. The office said Morgan was allegedly subjected to continuous abuse at the hands of the convicted men and other residents of the community. The two were pronounced guilty after 2 weeks of trial before a judge and a jury. Man in Farmworks scam to pay $200,000 restitution after a complainant dies. A man who is accused of taking about $1.5 million in a Farmworks ticket fraud has been ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution to the family of one of the complainants who died before the resolution of the matter. The woman, who was among 10 complainants, died on May 24, 2 days before the case was scheduled to be mentioned in the St. Catherine Parish Court. When the accused man, Ryan Payne, appeared on Friday, Parish Judge Nathalie Crary Dixon ordered him to prepare the restitution payment for his next court appearance on June 19. It is alleged that in 2020, Payne met the complainants and told them he was an employee of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and could provide them with tickets for the Overseas Farmwork program. They paid over the sums to him, but he allegedly failed to honor his promise and became elusive. The matter was reported to the Spanish Town Police. An investigation was launched and Payne was arrested and subsequently charged with obtaining money by means of false pretense. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.